Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. What you're about to see is a cut version of the free-for-all from our Chivalry Deadliest Warrior promotional tournament, which is going on over on the Polaris channel. That's youtube.com/Polaris. This FFA was done to determine who the two-man teams would be. A bunch of us were on Ventrilo while we were doing this, but the quality ended up being absolutely terrible. So I decided to try and cut down the FFA into kind of a mini parody documentary in the style of Deadliest Warrior. I have no idea if it's funny or not. Hopefully you enjoy it anyway, and please do go and watch the tournament. It's over on youtube.com/Polaris, and you can see me and Cry teamed up as the Knights, beating the ever-living snot out of everybody else. That's over on youtube.com/Polaris. There's a link in the corner, go click that. And just because some people decided to pick weird names, Wet Harmonica in-game is Uber Hacksaw Nova, Epic Maneuver is Jesse Cox, and of course Press Hard to Continue is Dodger. Enjoy. The Viking, marauders of the North, the most terrifying and proficient pillagers in history. Everybody else, terrible at video games. Who is deadliest? Using a complex computer simulation, we will determine just how dreadful Polaris channels are at Chivalry, and how naturally gifted TotalBiscuit is at murdering Let's Players. Find out who is the deadliest warrior. The Krendor, history's highest quality non-person. In combat, these warriors would occasionally wear wigs to confuse their opponents. Unfortunately, wigs were not known for their armored properties. The Deadly Samurai, wielding the Kanobo Tetsubo, or Big Knobbly Stick, was a terrifying opponent in the age of feudal Japan. Dodger, on the other hand, wasn't. Observe the graceful ninja as he practices his unstoppable martial arts, too swift and too precise to match. Observe Kiori's head as it gracefully arcs through the air.
Second place!
Historians argue who would be victorious, the medieval knight in his advanced plate mail, or the unstoppable Viking berserker. They all agree, however, that it isn't Kiori. When on the verge of defeat, samurai were known for drowning themselves rather than knowing the shame of loss in mortal combat. Bed Banana attempts to imitate the strategy with questionable results. It is a historical fact that pirates were bad at everything, which is why they aren't around anymore. Peanut Butter Gamer continues this proud tradition. Enraged by the loss of such a gaming titan, other lesser channels attempt to flail wildly at the assailant, with no discernible effect. Our advanced computer simulations will take this behavior into account when tallying the final score. A team of expert programmers had created an algorithm to factor in how historically bad everyone was at video games, but unfortunately, this had to be removed after it caused the server to crash itself due to recursive awful. Through the frigid morning mist, the Viking spots his prey. Samurai and ninja locked in a fight to the death. Samurai were known for their epic maneuvers, not least of which the Jesse-kun Senpai Itsu, which translates to, here's some free points. Blood drunk, the Viking seeks a worthy opponent and is disappointed to find Krendor.
Dominating!
In the turbulent era of the mighty Shogun, warriors vied for supremacy and were tested on their ability to swing wildly with the left mouse button. Here we see Dodger, a master of the ancient technique. Koks-chan Tetsunubi was a forbidden Bushido art of the Meiji era. It is characterized by an extraordinarily long sword, which is often thought to have compensated for its practitioner's questionable virility. The style is known for short thrusting, grunting noises, and subsequent disappointment. Historians have found it difficult to answer why these pirate players bothered to show up to the match at all. For over 400 years, the Mighty Joe clan was the most feared and clandestine group of ninja assassins. They were said to take their victims on a ride to hell. Realizing that pirates are bad at everything, Peanut Butter Gamer switches to Samurai in order to confuse his enemy. A skilled practitioner of the Bushido arts would destroy his opponent in a single graceful move, before once again sheathing his blade. A not-so-skilled practitioner gets swords chucked at him. Really though, who throws a sword? Here's a clip of Krendor accidentally getting a kill. Viking tribes often warred amongst themselves for precious ad revenue and access to the 5% female demographic. In the meantime, Angry Joe attempts to hit the Viking with his stick. Realizing the utter inadequacy of his strategy and his favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys, Joe submits himself to an honorable death. Honeydew scores a kill. This once-in-a-generation event was marked with tribal war chants and a light orgy. We Spartans are said to have descended from Hercules himself. These Spartans are descended from Disney's Hercules.
Double kill!
Krendor and Dodger are locked in a duel to the death. The confusion between who is solved with a well-aimed sword swing to the face.
Dominating! Third place!
Markiplier's performance was so utterly unbecoming of the Spartan lineage that even the brave Viking cannot stand to suffer any more of it. He throws himself into the cold embrace of the freezing Nordic harbor. It's also possible that he mistakenly watched his Slender videos. The true cause of death is lost to the fog of history. In the ancient tongue, Uber Haxor Nova is the cruelest insult a man can give. Impossible to translate into any modern language, entire villages were slaughtered in retribution for its mere utterance. Men, women, and children alike pushed into spiked pits without mercy. Historians are left to merely guess at its meaning, though some believe it could literally translate to, "This man made 198 videos about Happy Wheels." They let Dodger win? Oh dear. He's going to be insufferable for weeks now.